recap of the Cubs' brutal, I mean brutal, 8-7 loss to the Cardinals in St. Louis at Busch Stadium on Tuesday evening. I'm David Kaplan. It's brought to you by our great partners at Wintrust. Get your very own Cubs checking account. They are the exclusive home. You can click the QR code that's on your screen or go to wintrust.com/Cubs to get all the details, how you get your very own Cubs checking account. That is a pathetic loss on so many levels, and I'm going to tell you exactly what went down. Am I panicking? No, because I think this is the low water mark for this team. If they don't respond after some of the garbage we watched tonight, and if Craig doesn't get his lineup construction a whole lot better, then I'm going to have real issues. Dansby Swanson, now he's hitting fifth. And of course, he's the guy that comes up with the game on the line with 2 outs in the top of the ninth inning and the tying run standing out there on the bases. First of all, Jamison Tyone, second straight awful start. Awful. This is the Cubs starters and pitching staff the last 6 games. 54 runs allowed. 54. 20 home runs and a 10.61 ERA. That is truly pathetic. But guess what? Through all of that, you had a chance to win this ball game, and brain cramps, terrible execution, and in the end, you lose by a run, and you deserved it with all the awfulness we watched tonight. Here's how it went down. Bottom of the second, Lars Nootbaar is 11th. 2-run home run. Shocking. 2-run jack again. And it's 2-0. We go to the third. Kyle Tucker, who had a big night at the plate. He rifles one to center field. That brings in Shaw and Horter, and we are tied at 2. And then, with 2 men on, Seiya Suzuki, way up and way out, and it's 5-2 Cubs. Can't stand prosperity. Mason Wynn homers to center with Brendan Donovan aboard. It's 5-4. Bottom of the fourth, Gorman homers. It's 5-5. Wynn doubles to left. Victor Scott and Pedro Pajes score. It's 7-5. Alec Burleson, a sac fly. It's 8-5. And then in the sixth, with Dansby aboard, Nico Hoerner's first home run of the season. About time. And it's 8-7. And the Cubs threaten and cannot push across the tying run. Now, here's where I have a real issue. First of all, the Mason Wynn sacrifice fly run, fly ball to Pete Crow Armstrong, got it. He thinks that's the third out. He stands there. Mason Wynn standing on second. He looks, tags up, and scores all the way from second. Cannot happen. Cannot happen. That bullshit has got to get cleaned up. And he better be aired out. I wouldn't have pulled him from the game. It's a mistake I don't think he'll make again, but that has to get cleaned up immediately. That is nonsense. That is Little League stuff that cannot happen when you are trying to win a division. Fall asleep at the wall and not know how many outs there are? My goodness. And then here's the play that everybody's going to be talking about. It was not called from the bench. Craig Counsell just met the media. But the Cubs had a real opportunity to either tie the game for sure or maybe go ahead. They've got Jojo Ramiro in the pitch. Ian Happ grounds out. Kyle Tucker walks. Seiya singles. Pete Crow Armstrong is bunting with Kyle Tucker over at third. You got men at first and third. He's bunting. And I thought, okay, you better get the bunt down. He doesn't. He bunts it right back to the pitcher, and you could see Tucker coming down, and he watches. He can't score. So they throw PCA out. Suzuki moves to second, and the Cubs end up not scoring the tying run. And everyone's saying, well, why are you calling a bunt, Craig? He didn't. He said after the game, that was not from the bench. That was Pete on his own. But if he does his job and gets the freaking bunt down, and I know he's been a horrible bunter all year long, well, guess what? Get to the freaking stadium tomorrow and start working on your bunting. Craig Counsell was a good bunter when he played. Somebody take that kid and teach him how to bunt with the speed he's got. That was him on his own doing it. And I got no problem with it if you're going to freaking deliver. That is a terrible, terrible decision if you don't know how to bunt. And he didn't get it down. Inning over. Then here's my other problem. Bullpen does the job. Bullpen gets the job done. They keep the Cubs in the game. In the 8th inning, Michael Busch strikes out. Nico Horner singles. He steals second. Matt Shaw strikes out, and he looks horrible at the plate. Carson Kelly grounds out, inning over. So you had an opportunity with a man at scoring position. We go to the 9th. Their closer, Helsley's in. Ian Happ grounds out. Tucker singles to deep center. Seiya strikes out on a breaking pitch he looked awful on. Pete Armstrong singles. Kyle Tucker runs around to third. PCA steals second with no throw. Dansby grounds out on a hell of a play by Arenado at the end of the game. Hey, Craig, why aren't you running Kyle Tucker in that situation? Why? That base hit would have tied the game right there. So the bunt, horrible. You didn't run him there. I would have, and that's first guess because I said it before the play. That's one. The PCA screw up in the outfield. That's two. And the bunt. So you got the bunt, the screw up in the outfield, didn't run Tucker, and the base hit by PCA would have tied the game there. So 3. You cannot give a quality team on the road, especially like the Cardinals, that many opportunities. Awful, awful night. The Hooters winging it starting pitching matchup. Take a look at the numbers. Jamison Tyone, terrible. McGreevy, not great. There's your numbers. Player of the game. I mean, I could go a number of ways here. There was a lot of offense for the St. Louis Cardinals, so I'm probably going to have to give it to either Mason Wynn, home run, and tagging up from second and scoring. I'll give you the player of the game. Letting you know, tomorrow night, we'll be at Hooters O'Hare watching the Cubs game and the NBA draft. Me and Ryan McGuffey with the recap team. Come on out and see us. Hooters O'Hare, 6:30 tomorrow. Take that.